All right, so today we're going to be diving into some real estate investing wisdom.
Sounds good.
We've got excerpts from a YouTube panel discussion,
Yeah.
and it features a bunch of investors with tons of experience.
Awesome.
So our mission today is to unearth some practical advice for anyone out there who's interested in real estate, especially if you're just starting out.
Love it.
Yeah. So what I thought was really cool about this panel is the diversity of voices that we've got.
Oh, yeah.
We've got Stacy Thomas, who's been investing nationwide since 2006.
Wow.
Aruna Karoma, specializing in private capital and joint ventures.
Nice.
Chris Thompson, who's a realtor and an investor, and he's a pro at property management and renovation.
That's quite the resume.
Yeah, and then we even have people on the panel who know the ins and outs of things like creative financing and the hero market.
So really the whole gamut.
It's pretty amazing to have all that expertise kind of in one room.
For sure.
And Stacy actually shared a story about how early in her career, she was feeling a bit lost until she found a mentor, Pace Morby, and she connected with his community.
I love that.
Yeah, and she said that was like a game changer for her.
Yeah, finding the right people to learn from and collaborate with can make all the difference, especially when you're starting out in a field as complex as real estate.
For sure, for sure. And speaking of starting out, Chris had a great tip for those with limited capital.
Okay, let's hear it.
It's called driving for dollars.
Driving for dollars.
Yeah.
It's like a sound of that.
It's basically, you drive around neighborhoods looking for properties that might be distressed or in need of some TLC.
Classic strategy, but still so relevant today.
Oh, yeah, totally. And what I thought was interesting, too, is that, a lot of new investors, when they're starting out, they overlook kind of the business side of things.
Yeah.
But Stacy actually reminded us that you can write off your mileage.
Oh, for those driving for dollars. Too.
Exactly, on your taxes.
Oh, it's a little tax tip.
Yeah, so those deductions can really add up.
Yeah, for sure.
There was also this really cool anecdote about someone who ended up at this panel discussion thanks to a social media meetup. They were just starting to explore real estate, and they joined a local group online.
Okay.
And boom, they found this incredible resource.
Wow, what a happy accident.
Yeah, it's like the stars aligned,
Totally.
But I think that just speaks to the importance of being proactive and putting yourself out there.
Right. You never know what opportunities might come from just connecting with others who share your interests.
Absolutely. And it also ties into what Stacy was emphasizing about collaboration.
Okay.
She said that real estate has enough for everyone if we work together.
I love that mentality.
Me too.
Yeah.
And she actually shared an example of splitting profits on a deal to make sure everyone benefited.
That's refreshing, isn't it? It challenges the idea that real estate is, like this cutthroat dog-eat-dog world.
Totally, totally.
Yeah.
Now, another recurring theme that came up was the importance of knowing your market.
Right.
That's like, you think of it like running a store.
Okay.
You wouldn't stock your store without understanding what your customers want.
Of course not.
So the housing market is your inventory.
Makes sense.
And understanding its nuances
Right.
is crucial for making informed investment decisions.
Yeah, this goes beyond just surface level knowledge, too.
Exactly.
You really have to become an expert in your chosen market.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're listening and thinking about getting into real estate, start by identifying a market that makes sense for you and really dig deep.
Absolutely. Research those local trends, figure out which neighborhoods are up and coming, pay attention to price points.
Yeah, consider it your real estate homework.
Love it.
So homework leads to less risk, right?
For sure.
Speaking of risk,
Uh-oh.
the panelists were very open about mistakes that they've made along the way.
Yeah, I think it's easy to get caught up in those success stories, but learning from failures is just as valuable.
Absolutely.
For example, Aruna shared how he jumped into a fix and flip deal without enough knowledge,
Oh, no.
which led to some, expensive lessons learned.
It happens to the best of us.
It does.
And Stacy told a story about a contractor who covered up foundation and AC problems.
Oh, wow.
So it really emphasizes the need for thorough due diligence, no matter how trustworthy someone seems.
It's all about protecting your investment.
Absolutely.
Due diligence can reveal those hidden problems and save you from a lot of headaches down the line.
For sure.
Speaking of lessons learned,
Okay.
Aruna shared a fascinating story about how he initially dismissed the idea of wholesaling real estate.
Really?
He was a licensed agent at the time, so used to those traditional deals.
Right.
And he was attending a seminar where the speaker claimed you could make like $10,000 on average just by assigning a contract.
He was skeptical.
Oh yeah, he thought this wholesaling concept is too good to be true.
Right.
But instead of just dismissing it, he decided to test it out.
So what did he do?
He put together 50 offers and sent them out old school style via fax.
Wow, 50.
And guess what? Not a single one was accepted right away.
50 offers no immediate bites.
Yeah.
That must have been discouraging.
It could have been, but here's the interesting part. While he was talking about his wholesaling efforts with his partner, he actually got a lead on a deal
Oh, wow.
that he ended up successfully wholesaling.
So even though his initial 50 offers didn't work out,
Right.
the process of trying opened up a new opportunity.
Exactly.
It's like that saying, the magic happens outside your comfort zone.
I love that, and that connects beautifully with what Stacy emphasized about focusing on your strengths.
Yes.
She was very candid about disliking cold calling,
Right.
which is a common tactic in real estate. But instead of forcing herself to do something that drained her,
Yeah.
she found other ways to generate leads and build her business.
I love that it reminds us that there's no one-size-fits-all approach to success.
Absolutely.
Each of us needs to find what works best for us and play to our strengths.
It's about finding your own rhythm in the real estate world.
I like that, find your own rhythm. And speaking of finding your rhythm, let's talk about a story that really highlighted the importance of negotiation and due diligence. One of the panelists shared an anecdote about a wholesaler who missed out on potential profit
Oh, no.
because they didn't fully understand the concept of assigning contracts.
So basically, they left money on the table because they didn't do their homework.
That's the gist of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it serves as a reminder that knowledge is power in real estate.
Absolutely.
The more you understand the intricacies of deals, the better you'll be at negotiating favorable terms and maximizing your profits.
Right. And it's not just about knowing the rules. It's about asking the right questions and being proactive in your due diligence.
Exactly. Don't be afraid to dig deep, get those inspections done, and make sure you fully grasp every aspect of the deal before signing on the dotted line.
That's solid advice for any investor, whether you're buying your first property or your 100th.
Couldn't agree more.
Wow.
And when it comes to building a buyer's list, which is a critical component of any successful real estate business, the panel emphasized that quality trumps quantity.
So it's not about amassing a huge database of contacts, but rather cultivating those meaningful relationships with a select group of investors who trust and value your expertise.
Exactly. One panelist even shared that they had much better results with a smaller, carefully curated buyer's list compared to a massive one filled with unqualified leads.
Makes sense. It's like having a close-knit circle of friends you can rely on versus a room full of strangers.
Exactly. And when it comes to scaling a business, partnerships are often essential.
For sure.
The panelists all agreed on that, but they had different perspectives on how to find and vet potential partners.
So what were some of the key takeaways there?
Well, they highlighted the importance of finding partners with complementary skills.
Right.
So you know someone who excels in areas where you might be weaker and vice versa.
Like yin and yang balancing each other out.
I love it.
Exactly. And shared values are crucial too. If you're not aligned on those fundamental principles, the partnership is likely to crumble.
Yeah, you're going to butt heads.
Exactly. And some of them even recommended personality tests and books like Rocket Fuel to assess compatibility and understand how to work best together.
I've heard great things about that book. So finding the right partner is like finding the right business spouse in a way.
It's a great analogy. You're in it for the long haul, so choosing wisely is essential.
For sure. And speaking of long-term success, the panelists addressed the question of legal and financial protection,
Right.
which is something every real estate investor should prioritize.
Absolutely. It's all about minimizing risk and safeguarding those hard-earned investments.
So what were some of their top tips?
They emphasize the importance of consulting with an experienced real estate attorney.
Okay.
Don't try to navigate the legal complexities on your own. Get expert guidance to ensure you're operating within the law and protecting your assets.
Makes sense. Legal expertise is worth its weight in gold in this business.
For sure, they also highlighted the need to operate within a legal entity like an LLC or a Series LLC.
Now, for those unfamiliar with the Series LLC, could you break that down?
Sure, it's basically a structure where each property is held in a separate entity under the umbrella of a master LLC.
So think of it as like individual compartments within a larger ship.
Exactly. If one compartment takes on water, the others remain protected.
Ah, that makes sense.
It's an extra layer of protection for your assets.
Smart move. And of course, having appropriate insurance coverage is paramount.
Right. It's your safety net in case something unexpected happens.
That's like having a backup parachute when you're skydiving.
Exactly.
You hope you never need it,
Right.
but it's good to have just in case.
And finally, they emphasize the importance of meticulous accounting and financial management.
Okay.
Keeping your books in order and staying on top of your finances is crucial for long-term success.
That sounds like solid advice for any business, really.
It is. Organization and financial discipline are key ingredients for success in any field.
So we've covered a lot of ground here, from finding mentors and understanding your market to the power of partnerships and the importance of legal protection.
Yeah, it's like a crash course in real estate investing wisdom.
What are some of the things that stood out to you so far?
I'm really struck by the recurring theme of collaboration and community.
Yeah,
It's refreshing to see that real estate isn't always a zero-sum game where one person's win is another person's loss.
totally.
There's a real sense of shared knowledge and support within this panel.
Totally. It's like they're all part of a secret society.
Right.
But instead of guarding their secrets, they're eager to share them with anyone who's willing to learn.
And they're not afraid to be vulnerable either.
Yeah.
They shared their mistakes and lessons learned, which makes them relatable and humanizes the whole investing process.
For sure, it reminds us that everyone starts somewhere, and even seasoned investors have their fair share of bumps along the road.
And that's a comforting thought, isn't it?
Yeah,
It makes the whole idea of real estate investing less intimidating and more approachable.
definitely. So before we move on to part 2 of this deep dive, I have a question for you and for everyone listening.
Okay.
If you were to take one action today inspired by this discussion, what would it be?
Think about it. We'll be back in part 2 to continue exploring these valuable real estate investing insights.
See you then.
Welcome back to our deep dive into the world of real estate investing.
We're picking up right where we left off, unpacking all those golden nuggets from our panel of seasoned investors.
And, before the break, we were talking about taking action,
Right.
which can be especially hard in a field as nuanced as real estate.
It is. It's easy to get stuck in that research phase forever.
Oh, yeah, analysis paralysis.
Totally.
But as our panelists emphasized, sometimes you just got to take that leap.
You do. You do. And Stacey Thomas, the investor we mentioned earlier,
Yeah.
she really hammered home the importance of avoiding analysis paralysis,
Right.
which is that, trap of overthinking and second guessing that keeps so many people from actually getting started.
Oh, it's so true.
It's like standing at the edge of the pool forever debating whether the water's too cold.
Right.
Eventually, you just got to jump in.
You just got to do it. And she encouraged listeners to just get out there and make offers,
Yes.
even if they're not 100% certain those offers will be accepted.
Right.
It's all about embracing calculated risk.
And understanding that rejection is part of the game.
Exactly.
You can't win every deal,
Yep.
but you can't win any deals if you never make an offer in the first place.
That's a great point. And Aruna Karoma, with his wholesaling story,
Yes.
he had a similar message. He was skeptical at first,
Right.
but then he tested the concept and saw results.
He did 50 faxes and no immediate responses.
Right.
But then a successful wholesale deal through his partner.
Yeah.
It just goes to show that persistence and a willingness to experiment can pay off.
It really can. And this brings up an important question for anyone listening.
I like it.
What's holding you back from taking action in your real estate journey?
Is it fear of making a mistake?
Could be.
Feeling overwhelmed by the complexities of the market?
Possibly.
Or maybe just not knowing where to start?
All valid concerns. But the key is to recognize those obstacles
Right.
and then break them down into smaller, manageable steps.
You got to chunk it down.
Exactly. Those baby steps we all took when we were learning to walk.
You don't expect to run a marathon on day one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now let's shift gears for a moment and talk about something that often gets overlooked
Okay.
in the hustle and bustle of real estate.
I'm intrigued.
The emotional side of investing.
Hello, that's a good one.
It's easy to get caught up in the numbers, the spreadsheets, the deal making.
Right.
But real estate is ultimately about people.
It is.
It's about building relationships, establishing trust, and understanding the motivations and needs of everyone involved.
I like that.
And our panelists, especially Stacey, really emphasize the importance of approaching deals with a win-win mindset.
She said real estate has enough for everyone.
Right.
There's no need to view it as a cutthroat competition.
Exactly. And remember that anecdote we shared earlier about the person who stumbled upon the panel discussion through a social media meetup?
Oh, yeah.
They just happened to be in the right online community at the right time.
The stars aligned.
It really is a great example of how seemingly random connections
Right.
can lead to incredible opportunities.
They do. They do. And networking is so much more than just collecting business cards.
It really is. It's about genuine connection
Yeah.
and building those relationships that might lead to partnerships, mentorship,
Yeah.
or even just the supportive community of like-minded individuals.
For sure. And think about how valuable that could be if you're facing challenges
Right.
or feeling unsure of your next move.
Absolutely. Having those people to bounce ideas off of,
Yep.
share experiences with, offer encouragement, it
Right.
can make all the difference.
It can, especially when the emotional stakes are high.
So true. Now, circling back to something we touched on earlier,
Okay.
due diligence is a crucial part of managing those emotional stakes.
It is. It's about taking the emotion out of the equation
Right.
and really digging deep into the facts before you commit to a property.
Remember that story Stacy shared about the contractor who concealed foundation and AC problems?
Oh, yeah. That was a good one.
That's a perfect example of why you can't just rely on surface appearances
Right.
or take someone's word for it.
You have to be your own advocate
Exactly.
and conduct thorough inspections to uncover any potential red flags.
Trust but verify.
Yes. And due diligence goes beyond just the physical condition of the property.
And it does.
It's also about scrutinizing the financial aspects of the deal,
Right.
understanding the numbers,
Yep.
and ensuring that the investment aligns with your overall goals.
Our panelists were adamant about knowing your market inside and out,
Yes.
researching comparable properties,
Right.
getting realistic estimates for renovation costs.
For sure.
It's about being prepared, doing your homework,
Right.
and minimizing those financial surprises that can turn a promising investment into a stressful nightmare.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
This might all sound a little overwhelming,
Yeah.
especially for those of you who are new to the real estate game.
Understand?
But it's important to remember, this is a journey, not a race.
That's a good point.
The panelists emphasized that there will be bumps along the way,
Oh, yeah.
unexpected challenges, and even some failures.
As Aruna put it, every deal has a different story.
That's a great way to put it.
You're going to encounter unique situations, unexpected twists.
Right.
Things you couldn't possibly have anticipated.
Yeah. No matter how much research you do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why continuous learning and a willingness to adapt
Right.
are so crucial in real estate.
They are. They are.
You're going to make mistakes. Everyone does.
Right.
It's how you learn and grow from those mistakes
Right.
that separates those who succeed
Right.
from those who give up.
And it's about viewing those mistakes as valuable lessons,
Yeah,
not as signs of failure.
And remember, you don't have to go it alone.
No, you don't.
Our panelists emphasize the importance of building that network
Yes.
of mentors, partners,
Yeah.
supportive colleagues, having people you can turn to for advice, encouragement, a different perspective.
Yes.
It can make the journey less daunting and more enjoyable.
Absolutely.
Because at the end of the day, real estate investing shouldn't just be about profits.
Right.
It should also be about personal growth and building a fulfilling life.
I love that. And who knows, maybe one day you'll be the one sharing your real estate investing wisdom
Right?
on a panel,
Yeah.
inspiring others with your stories of success, challenges, and lessons learned.
That would be amazing.
It would be. Before we move on to part 3 of our deep dive,
Okay.
let's take a moment to reflect.
I like it.
What are your biggest takeaways from this conversation so far?
Yeah.
What insights have really resonated with you?
Think about it.
And what actions are you inspired to take?
Hold those thoughts in mind as we
Yes.
continue our exploration
Okay.
of the fascinating world of real estate.
Welcome back to the final part of our deep dive into real estate investing.
It's been quite a journey so far.
We've covered so much, from finding mentors and understanding the market
Right.
to embracing calculated risk and really conducting thorough due diligence.
And now it's time to zoom in on a specific aspect of building that successful real estate business.
Okay. I'm ready.
One that our panelists emphasized as absolutely crucial:
Let's hear it.
building a solid buyer's list.
That network of individuals or entities who are ready and willing to purchase your properties.
It's the lifeblood of any real estate investor who's looking to really scale their business.
Okay, so you're saying this is important.
This is essential, and one of the panelists shared their experience of
Yeah.
having a massive buyer's list that surprisingly
Oh.
didn't yield the results they expected.
Really?
It was only when they shifted their focus to a smaller, more curated group
Okay.
of reliable and qualified buyers
Oh, okay.
that they started seeing consistent success.
So quality over quantity.
That was the big takeaway.
It's not about having thousands of names in a spreadsheet.
It's about nurturing those relationships with investors who understand your market, your investment strategy,
Okay.
and your commitment to delivering value.
Makes sense. So how do you go about building a high-quality buyer's list?
Well, the panelists offered a few different strategies.
Okay, let's hear them.
Networking at local meetups was a big one.
Right. Getting out there, meeting people face to face.
You can really get a sense of someone's energy
Right.
and whether they'd be a good fit for your business.
For sure. They also suggested leveraging online platforms and social media groups.
Absolutely. Those online communities, specifically for real estate investors.
And don't underestimate the power of referrals.
Oh, yeah. Word of mouth can be incredibly effective.
Let your existing network know who you're looking to connect with.
Exactly. But building that buyer's list is just the first step.
Okay, so what's next?
You also have to nurture those relationships.
Okay.
Keep them informed about your available property.
Right.
And demonstrate your expertise and your professionalism.
Makes sense because you're not just selling a property.
You're building trust.
Right. And establishing a reputation
Yeah.
that will attract more buyers in the future.
Okay, that makes sense. Now shifting gears again.
All right.
Let's talk about another key strategy that came up several times
Okay.
during the discussion.
I'm listening.
One that can have a major impact on your success as a real estate investor.
Okay, hit me with it.
Partnering.
Ah, yes.
The panelists unanimously agreed that having the right partners
Right.
can make all the difference in the world.
Whether it's a joint venture partner who brings capital to the table
Right?
or a contractor with a proven track record
Yeah.
of quality work.
Or even a mentor
Oh, for sure.
who can guide you and share their experience.
Absolutely. Partnerships can help you amplify your strengths,
Yeah,
compensate for weaknesses, and accelerate your growth.
I like it, but finding those ideal partners
Right.
is crucial.
It is the panelists emphasize the importance of shared values,
Right.
complementary skills,
Mhm.
and a clear understanding of roles and responsibilities. So it's like a marriage in a way.
It is. You're in it for the long haul.
You got to choose wisely.
They even suggested using personality tests
Oh, wow.
and resources like the book Rocket Fuel
Okay.
to assess compatibility
Right.
and learn how to work best together.
Because a successful partnership is like a well-oiled machine.
It is each part working in harmony
Right.
to achieve a common goal.
Beautiful. Now, before we wrap up this deep dive,
Okay.
let's tackle a question that's probably on the minds of many listeners.
All right, let's do it.
A question that's relevant for both seasoned investors and those just starting out.
Right.
How do you protect yourself
Right.
legally and financially in the world of real estate?
It's a crucial question, and our panelists offered some invaluable insights.
Okay, I'm all ears.
They stressed the importance of consulting with an experienced real estate attorney.
Okay,
Don't try to navigate the legal complexities on your own.
right. Get a professional.
Get professional guidance
Uh-huh.
to ensure you're operating within the law and protecting your assets.
That's key. They also highlighted the importance of operating within a legal entity.
absolutely like an LLC or a series LLC.
Right, to shield your personal assets from potential liabilities.
And remember what we talked about earlier, that series LLC
Uh-huh.
provides that extra layer of protection
Right.
by separating each property
Right.
into its own entity.
Very smart. And of course, having adequate insurance coverage is absolutely essential.
It is your safety net in case something unexpected happens.
Got to have that safety net. And finally, the panelists couldn't emphasize enough the importance of meticulous accounting and financial management.
Keeping your books in order
Right.
and staying on top of your finances
Yes.
is crucial for long-term success.
So as we conclude this deep dive into the world of real estate investing,
Yeah,
let's take a moment to reflect on everything we've learned.
it's been a lot.
From the power of mentorship and community
Right.
to the importance of knowing your market and conducting that thorough due diligence, to the strategies for building a solid buyer's list
Uh-huh.
and forming those strategic partnerships.
Those are key.
And, of course, the crucial steps you can take to protect yourself legally and financially.
That's essential.
We've also explored the mindset shifts that are necessary for success in real estate,
Right.
embracing calculated risk, learning from mistakes,
Mm-hmm.
and staying persistent,
Yeah.
even when faced with challenges.
It's not always easy, but it's worth it.
It is. So what will you do with this newfound knowledge?
Right. What actions will you take to turn your real estate dreams into reality?
That's the question.
Yeah.
The first step is often the hardest.
It can be, but remember, you don't have to go it alone.
You don't. We hope this deep dive has equipped you with the insights and inspiration you need,
To either embark on your real estate investing journey
or to take your existing business.
or the next level.
So go out there, take action,
Yeah.
and make your mark on the world of real estate.
Until next time.
Happy investing, everyone.
Ah.